Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and welcome to another episode of the old windbag man being wrong with speculation again. At least that's what I like to call it. A lot of you probably like to call it that too. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but we're getting a surprise in Dead by Daylight on Monday, April 22nd. There's a section on the forums. If you're not subscribed to the forums, I suggest you go and create an account and you can keep tabs on things there. But there's a section on the forums here that lists the activities and live stream roadmap. This is how I know, if there's going to be a dev stream on a certain week or if it's going to be a YouTube feature or whatnot. They actually put the roadmap and say what's happening. So you can see here that it says on April the 11th, we had the mashup video on YouTube. April 16th, they gave us the Legion update that was the blog post discussing the changes that are going to come out for the Legion, starting with the public test build on Tuesday, April the 23rd, and then probably going live 2 weeks after that. And then they had the Q&A questions for Legion update and endgame collapse, and on the 18th, they gave us the endgame collapse video to show us how they're going to change the endgame. Again, that's going to be in the public test build and roll out live build probably 2 weeks after that. Then you can see here it says for April the 22nd on the forums and social media, Monday, April 22nd, there's going to be a surprise. So I like surprises, but I also like mysteries, and I like to think about things and try and figure out what this could mean. I have a couple of ideas, so I'll go through that with you. And then you can see here underneath that, it says that April 23rd, there's going to be the public test build will go live on PC with patch notes and instructions on how to access the public test build. I will be streaming the public test build live on Tuesday. Once it goes live, we'll check out all the new stuff. Then there's going to be a Q&A session with gameplay designers on Thursday, the 25th. But again, circling back to this surprise. What is the surprise? So let's go in depth and try and see if we can make any headway with the clues for what this could be. So some people think that the surprise, since it says it's going to be announced on the forums and on their social media, is that it's going to be a link to Salmonation's DBD parody number 6, which is debuting on Monday. Which I guess it's possible, but is that really a surprise? Because Salmonation hasn't made it any secret that that's when his new video is premiering. I love Salmonation stuff, but it doesn't really strike me as a surprise. So if it's not that, what else could it be? We haven't had a roadmap. By this time last year, they had laid out a roadmap for us with the this is only the beginning video, which got us super excited for last year with the cosmetic shop and everything that they had changed. Are we going to get a roadmap? They're going to give us a roadmap to tell us what's in store and what we can expect over the next calendar year from now until next spring, possibly. I'm going to go in a different direction, and I'm going to pull up a little article that I saw, and something out of that article stuck with me. So hang on a second. So if you don't know what Variety is the news media for the entertainment industry. And they had an article right around PAX when Ash came out talking about how Ash was coming to Dead by Daylight. And they had a second follow-up article to that on Variety. And I'm not going to read the article to you. You can just Google it for this headline with Variety and you'll find it very easily if you want to. But there was one thing that stuck out in this article for me, and I want to read that to you. Basically, this article goes through about how they broke the rules for Ash vs. Evil Dead because they have a character who now says words in the game which they never had before, and they talk about how they had to pay Bruce Campbell for his likeness because of him owning his likeness rights as the character of Ash, and they had to make an agreement with him and that. And so when you get into the article, the thing that stuck out to me here was it says, fortunately, as developer Behaviour approached its 3rd year anniversary this year, they started working on another project with Lionsgate. So this, to me, means that they're working on something with Lionsgate right now that isn't Ash. It says, we sort of came on the subject that they have the rights to Ash versus Evil Dead, and we really wanted that in the game, so it became kind of an easy process. While landing Camel's character once they were working with Lionsgate was easy, adding him to the game required breaking a number of their rules, and then it talks about speaking and stuff. But circling back to this, it really sounds like to me like they're working on a separate project with Lionsgate, and then they said, oh, hey, you have the Ash versus Evil Dead rights too, don't you? So what are they working on with Lionsgate? That's what I want to know. Does this have anything to do with the surprise, or is this current project with Lionsgate something else further down the road? Either way, it's pretty exciting. So let's check out Lionsgate. So if we're on the Lionsgate website, you can see here that it talks about what's trending with their licenses they own. They actually talk about the Ash versus Evil Dead here. It has a link to it. So let's go on games. And you can see for all games that they have Ash versus Evil Dead. And they have the Saw chapter here. Saw is one of their licenses. 100% without a doubt. This is one of their franchises. And then there's Evil Dead, as I said. John Wick is on Payday, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now if we go on shows, you can see here that they own the rights to Ash versus Evil Dead, which is how they connected with them, right? So the Ash that's in the game is from the TV show 3 seasons of Ash versus Evil Dead. And I'll come back to this. We'll talk about Ash a little bit more, but I want to focus on their movie properties. So if you come over here to their movies section, they have featured movies, and then we have their franchises, which you can see Saw is one. We have Hunger Games, Twilight, John Wick, Medea. The only thing horror that you can see here is Saw. So are they working with Lionsgate to get some more licensed cosmetics for Saw? Saw, as you could see, they're advertising in their gaming section. Could we possibly get other characters for Saw as licensed cosmetics? That would be pretty cool. There's, a number of characters we could do with that. Well, let's look a little bit deeper if we go down into their horror section and see what they tout as the licenses they own for horror. So we have Hellfest, American Psycho, again, Saw. These are all the Saw movies. Jigsaw, House of a Thousand Corpses. This is a pretty interesting one because I think a lot of people would want Captain Spaulding as a licensed cosmetic for the clown. I don't know if that would ever happen, though, if they would give us Captain Spaulding as just a cosmetic for the existing clown, or if they'd want him to be his own character. Again, looking through the horror here, what we do have is original Halloween. There's also Halloween 4 and Halloween 5. I don't know what the history is of the Halloween licenses, why they only have these 3 under their banner. Possibly these are the only 3 that they own. So this would open up the possibility for extra Halloween cosmetics. This could be something else that they're discussing with Lionsgate, which I think that would be great. Bedsheet Myers, I know people have wanted. And then we could also get the alternate masks seen in Halloween 4 and 5, which are not the same as the masks for 1 and 2. And, Myers doesn't appear in Halloween 3, so that isn't an issue. So that's the extent of their horror as shown on their website. Are these the only horror licenses that they own? I don't know. Let's see. Now, I know the Scream license is very convoluted because you have the mask maker owns the rights to the actual mask, and then you have the movie maker who owns the rights to the character of Ghostface. So it's kind of a complex license, and this is a very old article, but it does say that Lionsgate was releasing the Scream trilogy on Blu-ray 8 years ago. So at least at one point, it seems like Lionsgate did have the rights to the first 3 Scream movies. Possibly they still do. It's unknown. Like I said, this license is up in the air. Who knows what's happening with that? So to me, Scream would be kind of a long shot. I really like the Myers Halloween aspect the most out of all of this. And then I would say Saw would be second. So I'm going to show you one other thing here. So if I go into my game and I go to my store, you could see here that my camera's blocking it a little bit, but my featured characters here are Laurie Strode and The Shape. Now, I went back and looked at all my other cosmetics videos that I ever did whenever cosmetics dropped, and the characters here who were featured were always the ones that were the most recent DLC. For example, when the Vicious Victorian Nurse and Doctor dropped, this was Adam Francis and the Spirit were here. Same thing when Alpine Kate came out, it was Adam Francis and the Spirit. Pizza Delivery Boy Dwight, we had Jeff Johansson and the Legion. Tragic Love Opera, Wraith and Nurse, we had Jeff Johansson and the Legion. Schooled Spirit, Jeff Johansson and the Legion. Ugly Sweater Collection, Jeff Johansson and the Legion. The Santa Clown, Jeff Johansson and the Legion, etc., etc. So why aren't the Plague and Jane Romero in these two spots? Or even Ash? I already own these characters. Why are they being featured to me? I can't buy anything for these people. They don't have any extra cosmetics. I already own them. Why are these the characters that are being shown to me? Is this just an oversight on the default? Or does it have a deeper meaning? Does this mean they're setting up the shop because, boom, we're going to have new Halloween cosmetics? I don't know. I went and looked at my other account. And on that account where I don't own hardly anything, it was promoting Ash and the Plague here for me. So this isn't the same for everybody, but all the other times when I already owned the characters, they were shown here for me. I had Adam and the Spirit or Jeff and the Legion, even though I already owned them. But that, it didn't seem like that was out of the ordinary because there were still cosmetics I could buy for those characters. So to feature those to me as the newest characters because I could buy cosmetics for them still, that made sense. These two people here that I already own and I can't buy any cosmetics for, doesn't make sense to me. Am I reading too much into it, or is there a deeper meaning here? Does this indicate that we are going to get Laurie and Michael cosmetics and they're setting up the shop for it? I don't know. Probably not. As I've been told, I have a wild imagination. So this is just where my mind goes. I will say, however, that I was right when I said, where's store banner number 4? That's probably the Ash banner that's missing. And that was the missing banner. Number 4 was the Ash banner. And that's why I won the bet with the King, that Ash was coming in a matter of weeks and not months, and I didn't think that he was going to be a Chapter 12 character, that he was going to be a standalone character inside of a month when he was revealed, and that was right. So, but hey, even a blind squirrel can find a nut every once in a while, right? So, does this mean nothing? Am I just being super paranoid about these two characters being here, or is there a deeper meaning? Are we pretty close to getting Laurie and Michael cosmetics? Is that the surprise tomorrow? Probably not. But hey, we know from that Variety article that they are working on something with Lionsgate. What that is, we don't know. Hopefully it's going to be something really cool that's going to knock our socks off. I can't wait to see it. I think people would really enjoy Captain Spaulding or some Halloween cosmetics. We do have these 3 different versions of the masks for Myers. Like, we have our basic, but you could see what Halloween 4 and 5 would look like. Would you buy those? Was that different enough for you? Would you buy Michael Myers mask from Halloween 4 and 5 that look different? Would you want to walk around that in the fog? Or is the Michael that we have the only Michael that you want? And you would buy something like maybe the newest Michael from the most recent movie with the old weathered mask, or Bedsheet Myers. Do you want like mature Laurie? Can they sign? I mean, we saw Jamie Lee Curtis playing Dead by Daylight. Could they sign an agreement with her for her likeness? Could we get a tighter look on Laurie to look more like what she looks like in real life in the movie with her likeness? Could we get more cosmetics for her? I sure would love it. As far as the Saw characters go, I don't know what they would do because of the small body type of Amanda Young. Would they actually make the killer so that they could have different body types depending on who you picked. Could you get John Kramer or Mark Hoffman as a pig in an alternate skin? That'd be really incredible if they could do that. As far as the survivors would go, an interesting tidbit that was actually left by somebody from Behaviour on one of my videos last year, I guess it was, when the Saw chapter came out. Yannick from Behaviour said, "Thanks a lot for the great comments. I'm glad that you enjoyed the DLC. Love the channel. Keep up the good work. By the way, we originally wanted to use Detective Matthews as a survivor, but it didn't work out in the end." So I don't know if that was like a licensing issue with Donnie Wahlberg or with the Lionsgate people with Saw that they didn't want Eric Matthews to be the survivor. Possibly they would revisit that now, and maybe you could alternate from Detective Tap to Detective Eric Matthews. I don't know. I guess there's a number of possibilities, but it would really need you to be able to transform the character into more than one body type instead of just a skin, I guess, as far as the killer goes, in my opinion anyway. But I think that would be pretty cool to see John Kramer out there in the fog. Even though John Kramer never killed anyone, except for that one guy where he rigged the shotgun to blow his head off, right? John Kramer never killed anyone, quote unquote. And back to Ash. I hope that they haven't, like, blown out all the Ash cosmetics that they have planned. I hope that there's more in store. And I will point out that somebody noted that this value stop outfit for Ash is incorrect. That isn't actually what he wears in the first season of Ash vs. Evil Dead when he works at the value stop. What is shown here is actually from season 3 when he reopens his father's hardware store. Williams Hardware, I forget exactly what it's called. I'll put it up here on the screen. You can see Ash Williams Hardware Store and Emporium something or another. So, which is interesting that got by the legal department of Lionsgate, that they approved the name of this, or maybe they do have more cosmetics and they just put the wrong name on it. But this isn't the Value Stop outfit. We could definitely get Value Stop as a cosmetic, and we could also get this cosmetic all in the white when Ash is in the insane asylum in season 2 with the white oven mitt basically on his hand. Which in turn becomes the Slaughtermaster outfit. I think that would be cool. That's actually something that's been licensed as a toy that exists in action figure form. So I wouldn't mind to see a Slaughtermaster Ash come in the future. And then Ash always wears these red and blue combos with his jacket and shirt. So I would like to see that as well. I think those would be no-brainers. I kind of wish we had Kelly and Pablo, but I understand that they wrote it into the lore that Ash entered the fog to try and save Kelly and Pablo. So that lore doesn't really make sense that Kelly and Pablo would be here. But I think it would have been really cool if we had like a Kelly variant on Kate Denson and Pablo on Jake, or whoever you want to say, Dwight, as a variant cosmetic for either of those characters. In the same way that they did with the Left 4 Dead, where they made Zoe and Francis, etc. outfits in Left 4 Dead on PC only, I should add. I thought those were pretty cool. So Kelly and Pablo would be interesting, but they probably wouldn't be big sellers, and they'd have to pay licensing to those folks as well for their likenesses. I can just look at the Funko Pop section and see how many Kelly and Pablo Funko Pops are available and aren't purchased, while there are no Ashes around. So obviously Ash is king. So that was the most important. So I can kind of understand why they would just focus on getting Ash. But I think Kelly and Pablo would have been pretty cool too. Anyway, so that's my wrap up. That's my little speculation for tomorrow's surprise. We'll see what it is. I look forward to it. Hope you do as well. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter to you. We'll see you tomorrow. Find out what that surprise is together. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.